There are no guarantees in finance, and in this video, I want to tell you what the gurus aren't telling you. Now, here's why I'm qualified to even speak on this subject. I started trading with the help of my grandparents in 1998 when I was about 13. That's when I first started to learn, and they kind of exposed me to this world. Fast forward, I started my trading journey kind of seriously when I was about 18, right? 17, 18 years old. And it was in my early 20s that I really got started trading futures and options. I did that for 10 years. Fast forward into my early 30s, I met a commodity broker who was managing a hedge fund who took me under his wing and taught me a lot about institutional trading, right? Raising capital, trading futures and options on behalf of clients. I ended up getting my Series 3, which is a commodity broker's license. I also got my Series 30, which is a branch manager license for commodity brokers. And I learned so much about not only trading, but the business as a whole. And now, the reason why this is important is because when you become licensed in any area of finance, whether it be a real estate license, stockbroker, commodity broker, like any type of license that makes you a fiduciary, it becomes very, very important that you don't mislead customers, you don't make false claims, you don't make promises that you don't intend to keep. And so much so that on YouTube, I see traders and people that are talking about finance that really have no idea what they're talking about. If you ever trade stocks or options, and we'll just use this as an example, if you trade stocks or options and you go to make an account with a broker, if you've never actually looked at a broker disclosure statement, right, an option disclosure statement, if you've never actually read any of these documents from front to back, I highly suggest that you go do that so you can actually see the type of disclosures that some of these businesses use to protect themselves so that they don't get sued in court when things can and will go wrong. Okay, so any person on the internet who is not a fiduciary, who's just sharing their opinion, maybe they're sharing a strategy or an idea or their opinion on a stock, needs to be very, very careful with what they say, okay? You really, in a perfect world, should be saying things like, this isn't financial advice, this is for education purposes only. And besides that, you should take it an even step further and you should say things like, you can and you will lose money, right? Securities trading can be very, very difficult. It contains a high level of risk that is not suitable for all people. There are certain disclosures that the government uses and that when you become licensed, you're required to have these on your website. So anytime that you're talking about finance with respect to your opinion, it becomes a very delicate scenario because the FTC can and will take you to court and sue you if people are buying your products under false pretenses where you are not giving them the full picture. Now, I see this a lot with people selling automated trading algorithms, and we'll do a quick run through of why it's so easy to spot these things and how I know that these people are full of shit, okay? So when I got my licenses and I was working with this guy, we would look at automated trading algorithms. We would look at guys like Jim Simons and Ray Dalio and some of the big quant funds. And just as a thought experiment, I want you to think about this. If a hedge fund is paying a quantitative analysis person to come into their fund and solve some of these problems, and they're giving them a compensation package of close to $2 million a year, let's say 1.5 or 1.7, and some of these quantitative finance guys are some of the highest paid guys in the industry, what makes you think that somebody running a YouTube ad selling an algorithm is actually going to give you a product that is actually going to make money consistently, right? I could tell you the chances are absolutely zero, okay? Because trading algorithms require a lot of hands-on monitoring, okay? Even the big hedge funds, they're not just letting these algorithms run wild with nobody at the helm watching the risk, okay? You see this a lot, this idea, and it's specifically because we live in, Western society where we're all made to believe that the next car or the next boat or whatever it is that we want is going to solve our problems and make us feel better, right? We're living in a consumer society where priority is given to instant gratification over hard work and discipline and delayed gratification. And, every time I turn on YouTube and I'm looking at videos, it astounds me how many people actually don't know what they can and can't say in relation to finance, in relation to organizations like the FTC, the SEC, the CFTC, NFA, right? All of these organizations that are watching over you and taking very detailed notes of the things that you're doing so that, at a later point when you really mess up, they can take you to court and they can get their fair share of your mistakes. I'm all for people sharing information. I'm all for people giving their opinions. And I'm all for people trying to learn as much as they can about finance and being able to better their lives, but not at the expense when someone is just trying to get you to buy into whatever it is that they are selling, right? So I could tell you that anything in the trading and the finance world, whether you're trading stocks or you're trying to do real estate deals or you're an entrepreneur or anything, it's going to take hard work. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take you learning how to lose like a champion, right? I don't know anybody in finance or business or that's an entrepreneur that hasn't lost money. I mean, if you know somebody that's never lost, man, I would love to talk with you and I would love to hear that story, because so far in my over 18 years of doing business and trading and looking at all different types of ways of making money, I have not found any scenario where you're going to win 100% of the time or that you're even going to win 80 or 90% of the time. I think it's very, very important to put things into perspective so that when the disappointments come or when you're challenged in whatever arena you're operating in, you don't completely crumble, right? Because when you look at some of the big hedge fund managers or the big real estate guys, like some of these guys have lost tremendous amounts of capital in things that have gone wrong, in mistakes they've made, and they've still come back to make it all back for themselves and their clients if they have partners or they have funds or whatever. But I think far too often, especially on the internet, you have people who aren't qualified giving their ideas and their opinions about things that they themselves don't even have the full picture on. And I challenge you today to go out to go look up some of the FTC laws, go look up some of the SEC laws, go look up the CFTC, go look up the NFA, go look up some of the governing bodies and just kind of look on what they say about disclosures. Go look at fraudulent operators who have been taken to court by the FTC, by some of these organizations, and actually go look what happens to people that defraud you on the internet by saying things that aren't true, right? So on this channel, right, I'm never going to tell anybody what to do with their money, right? I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your fiduciary. I don't know what your situation is, right? And I could easily tell you that there is no investment that's guaranteed 100%, right? Just like, love and business and war, right? There are no guarantees in life, love, business, and war. you cannot guarantee anyone that they're even going to wake up tomorrow because, everybody's time on this planet is limited and nobody has a crystal ball. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that maybe I've resonated with you, that maybe I've given you some clear points of logic to where when you move forward in life and love, business, life, and war, hopefully not war, but war in the sense that you're going to battle every day for the things that you love, the people you love, the things you're trying to accomplish, that you do so with, an idea that not everything is as it seems, right? There are no guarantees when it comes to finance and investing, and that you should use extreme caution when you listen to people, and that if you make decisions based on what people say or think, that you have to take full responsibility if it goes in your way, just like you take full responsibility if it doesn't go in your way. Okay, so I really hope you got some value out of this video. Drop a comment below, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Would love to connect with you. If you want to collaborate on some videos, maybe you have some ideas, reach out. Would love to connect. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.